Everybody, welcome to week 3. We're on the week 3 discussion board, and last week's was awesome. You guys did some great work. You came up with some great insights, and I really liked how you were kind of piggybacking off of each other's posts. So very, very nicely done. Now, we're making a big transition here, and we're going to something far more specific. So we were kind of very general last week in the discussion board. This week we're going to go more specific, and we're going to go specific into Outlook. Now, I want to talk about kind of some of the things that Outlook offers, and I want you to talk about that. But more importantly to me is I want to talk about how Outlook is used, or how Outlook should be used. And you can do this from a kind of a variety of vantage points, I guess you could say. The big thing is this, is talk about how email and how Outlook should be used in a professional capacity on the job. Doesn't really matter what kind of job we're talking about, but just something professional in your career, whatever that may be. And then talk about, kind of like the scenario that's given to you, the instructions, some tips and tricks on how to make your emails more professional. Basically, what's the difference between professional emails and emails that you'd send to family members, to close friends, that kind of thing. And how do you go about actually making an email professional looking? So I get emails all the time, every day, 7 days a week, from students, from faculty, from colleagues, everybody. And I can tell right away which ones seem more professional than others. Sadly, often, many, not all, but many of the emails I get from students don't really have that professional look. Many of them seem to be emails that very well could have just been texted to me from somebody's phone, and it looks that way. So we've got issues with spelling, we've got issues with a lack of punctuation or a lack of capitalization, because people tend to use that texting language when they're doing their email. So one thing you can talk about is, well, how does email differ, or how should email differ from texts? And do texts ever have any place in a professional capacity? I think they do, but it really depends on how they are used. Texting tends to lend itself to a looser use of language, more relaxed perhaps, but that doesn't mean that it can't be used professionally, nor does it mean that all emails have to be professional. They don't. So the question for you is that, how do you make emails professional? Give me some tips, some tricks. I've already looked at some people's posts, and some of you are saying things like, oh, there's lots of features. Oh, that's great. What features? Why do they matter, right? And don't just give me a rundown of what Outlook is or what Outlook offers. Get more specific and talk about what makes them professional, or how do you make an email look professional. So think about that scenario. You know, your friend who's just started work and she's having a hard time using email properly. It's up to you to teach her how to use it properly. It's up to you to teach her how to use it in a professional capacity. So, looking forward to what you all have to say. Make sure you try to get that post up, that initial post, by Wednesday. Make sure you have a post of at least 150 words, and make sure, of course, that you are posting replies to at least 3 different people throughout the week as well. Looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table, folks.